Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? Hey, it is still May the 31st, 2018, early afternoon, and I got to do a couple of disclaimers before I start this video. I am not an expert by any means of the global banking system and how that interacts and plays on the American stock market, the stock exchanges here in the United States. But I've been reading long enough about Deutsche Bank and Italy's problems, and actually all of Europe's financial banking problems, and then some. So I normally don't do videos. This would be a little bit out of my, or near an area that's out of my comfort zone. So I don't want to act like an expert. If you probably know more than me and probably will send me some comments going, dude, lay off the global banking system and stick with cryptocurrencies. But I've heard, so, okay, that's number one. Number two, and I mean this with all my heart, as a mentor, I just like to point you in the right direction of things that may be of interest to you or an article that may benefit you. So this video kind of sort of falls into that category. I'm just going to present a few ideas, and if you want to do some research or not, if you're interested in learning more or not, that's up to you. So again, I kind of know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to act like, I've got a financial background and, international banking. I'll leave that for the experts. But let's go to Deutsche Bank, okay? So Deutsche Bank is in trouble. They have been in trouble financially for a while. This is not like new news. For some of you that really follow Deutsche Bank and what's going on in Europe could probably teach me a lot, okay? So it says shares of Deutsche Bank fall on the report of a Fed downgrade. There's nothing about the title of this article that is good news, okay? And I don't know the exact, well, okay, let's just read the article again. I don't want to get in trouble by saying something that I'm not 100% sure of. So shares of Deutsche Bank fell 7%, more than 7% on a report that the Federal Reserve, like the United States Federal Reserve, downgraded Germans to a troubled condition about a year ago, okay? And they're only having more problems and more problems and more problems. And Deutsche Bank, think of Deutsche Bank, and I hope this is an adequate explanation. Think of it like a wheel, okay, like a bicycle wheel, and Deutsche Bank is like the middle and all the spokes go out from it. And Deutsche Bank is strategically, or it's a strategic part, if I could say it like that, in the European banking system and even elsewhere outside of Europe. Anyhow, since the beginning of the year, which is only, well, it's almost June, say 6 months ago, Deutsche Bank shares have lost 40% of their value, and they were down in 2017. So again, nothing about this article is good, but start doing some research on your own about Deutsche Bank and how that fits in to the global economy. And now let's switch gears to Italy. Actually, the whole banking system in Europe, if it went to the doctors for a health checkup it wouldn't be in good shape. It wouldn't get an A or a B or a C report card, okay? So what's been happening lately in Italy, among other things, is there's been a huge sell-off in the Italian bond market, okay, which is definitely affecting and has affected, among other things, the stock exchange here in the United States. So I'm going to link this article below. And we live in such a day that, if there's banking problems in Europe, right, that creates shock waves, here in the United States and elsewhere. So again, this subject may or may not interest you. It's of interest to me because I've heard a lot about Italy the past year and specifically the past 3 or 4 days. So take a look at this article, and this is probably a poor illustration, and the United States is guilty of this too. It's like a family. My family cannot spend more than I take in. Debt is being piled on debt, is being piled on debt, is being piled on debt. A little off the subject, I think yesterday I heard on the radio in the United States, student loan debt is at 1.4 trillion. I think it's 1.4 trillion. Anyhow, debt on more debt, decade in, decade out. Now I'm rambling. Anyhow, take a look at this article on Deutsche Bank. Not that you would find it interesting, but although you might. And take a look at this article from Market Watch on Italy and start looking at the news or just doing your own Google searches on the Italian bond market and what's going on there. And basically all of Europe, for that matter. Spain, Portugal, again, nothing is in great shape financially. So anyhow, Crypto Mentor 99, hope you're having a good day. Again, I'm just trying to put some breadcrumbs out for you all to follow. Let me know what you think. But yeah, rough road ahead. See you later. Bye-bye.